Hello, I'm Pearl from Pearl and the Prayers. I'm an intuitive tarot guide, a musician, and a creator. And I look at the balance between the divine masculine and feminine energy inside of self, understanding that whatever state we find that energy in, we can expect to see that reflected back to us in our interactions with others, in our external environment. And if we want to see change, we do need to shift that energy within. And it is January 1st of 2024 somehow. Still here, still kicking, still reading tarot, and I'm happy to do it. And I'm grateful to all those of you who have been with me on this journey all this time. And I kind of want to look at the divine masculine and feminine energy in a little bit of an old school way. And then we'll close out the reading by asking the question, how do you hope to live more authentically? And we'll pull some cards on that question at the end. We'll also talk a little bit about the making the changes that I talked about in the beginning. Sustainable change, what creates sustainability, which is consistency and authenticity. And I created the Follow Your Passions Where They Lead You 30-day challenge to help you get in tune with just that, your ability to be consistent when you are really authentic to who you really truly are. And that is at the heart of that challenge. And it helped me a lot last year. And I am starting it again. Today is day 1 of the second year. And this that I'm doing right now is my passion. I am doing something I'm very passionate about. I'm going to be doing music today. Pretty much this is now not something I have to force myself to do. I recognize all of the things that I consistently do that I love and are authentic to me. And I just keep building on that. In my second year of doing this, it's now become very, very natural for me to consistently do the things that I love to do. And I'm still kicking, so it's working. Okay. We're going to look at divine feminine energy first because she did not want to hide anything. She put all of her cards on the table. She hid nothing. Whereas the divine masculine, he's got a lot of things going on over here, and some of them are hidden, some of them are not hidden, and it's a mess over there. So we'll get to him after. But let's look at divine feminine first. Divine feminine energy, and remember this is the energy of the feminine inside of yourself and inside of your person and inside of those around you. You'll see many of these themes running through your relationships in your life and also your relationship to what your own creativity is, your emotions, etc. So keep that in mind. The divine feminine, what is on her mind is the 6 of Cups, or the 6 of Repiena, Caramelle. So this shows a maternal energy and a young boy, and she is making pasta with him, and she's looking to him. She's looking towards him in a loving way, like reprimanding, playfully, or there's a little bantering energy here. So this is a card about the past. It's about our childhood. There's lemons in the card that I'm being drawn to notice, which is, for me, these are happy memories. These are fond memories. This is a mothering energy that is gentle and nurturing, but also firm, and is like allowing this child to be curious and learn. You know, she's got this patient energy. So feminines, this is the overall energy. And I really, when I see you are seeing yourself in this role of the mother towards the divine masculine, who you are seeing as childish. So you are in a little bit of a condescending energy, well, patronizing. And you know what? It's probably deserved because it looks like you've put a lot of time, work, and energy and tender care into what you're creating. And the divine masculine is only just learning how to do that and has to look to you. And it's kind of a weird little power dynamic right now. but you're also connected, and you probably have had these interwoven, interchanging roles in each other's lives throughout all your incarnations. In every incarnation of masculine to feminine energy, there is that interplay. There are times when we take on this role with one another. There are times when, your person will have this maternal energy of being patient with your childishness. This is not anything to do with gender. Keep reminding yourself that. It's important to remember. You're also kind of giving me a sense that you have this feeling towards yourself, that you're paying attention, you're looking to the inner child. You're no longer resisting, your impulses that seem so naive and immature. You're starting to allow them. Let your inner child be seen and heard. Communicate, be open, speak your needs. There's a whole bunch of really good stuff coming from that because of this green. This is not a Six of Cups that's making me feel sad or worried about the past. It's also not making me feel particularly like, oh, it's so sweet. It's got a playful Italian. It's the pasta tarot. It's got an Italian energy in it. If you're Italian, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not Italian, you don't know what I'm talking about, and you wish you did, and because everybody wishes they did. But it's a good feeling. There's sun here. There's light. There's a healed root. There's a balance of red, yellow, green, and a little bit of blue. Not a lot of sadness here. Not a lot of sadness. This is all really good memories, really good things. I'm going to go back and forth. I'm not going to do one whole thing at a time anymore. I'm going to go back and forth, I think. That's what I'm feeling, because I want to do this interplay, this dialogue. What's the masculine overall energy? That's just the Ace of Swords. Something's cut through, something sharp, a truth, and it's a painful truth. It's not an easy truth to swallow. And it looks like we're cutting right into the cake here. I'm getting a sense of people who maybe wanted to have their cake and eat it too. You can't do that, right? So you're finding that out. So that doesn't work. Can't have that. I can't just be all, not giving somebody what they need and able to continue to receive sweetness, right? If I want sweetness, then I need to learn how to bake. That's a painful truth. But I also see the Ace of Swords as something that's like, I'm seeing into the future. I'm seeing clearly. And I'm planning and I'm thinking about it. And I'm strategizing and I'm taking action because I actually have a tool. I have something I can use to make some kind of motion or movement to cut through a lot of the fake shit, because this is also just a bunch of sugar. It doesn't have any substance. It's really not going to nourish you. It's going to give you a boost of energy and then it's going to make you crash. And so I'm also seeing that too, like cutting away that kind of surface level energy. There's yellow here too, which means for me, there's a happiness. There's seeing clearly what really makes you happy. This is a woman's hand on this blade, or a divine feminine energy. And that gives me the sense that this is emotions, painful emotions, thoughts creating painful emotions, starting to really get a sense of words are cutting through like knives. I'm getting a heart carved out kind of a feeling for some divine masculines. But the yellow is overwhelming though. So for me, it's not a negative energy. It's more of a happier feeling. What is underlying though? What is the underlying thing that's under this, nostalgia? Feminine is having this, this sort of loving, like, oh, what a cute little baby. What's underlying that? Well, the cute little baby having a hard time making a decision or choosing something, because we literally have the King of Cups here buried, because I tried to pull the bottom of the deck and the bottom of the deck insisted on being this. mess. The King of Cups and the Seven of Cups. I give up. I give up as a reader. 4:33 on the clock as I say that. I give up as a reader. I don't want to read this. Oh, God, don't make me. Yes, I'm going to do it. Okay, fine. We're going to do it quick, though. What is underlying this nostalgia is this person that I am consumed with, that I am being tolerant of, that I am being very kind to? Is this person just going to numb out their feelings and coast? Are they actually going to make up their mind? And should I stop doing this? Because this is what I have to do in order for me to stay in this connection with this nothing and no one. It doesn't communicate. That's a very good, kind, sweet little boy, but doesn't communicate. That's not getting me anywhere. I'm skimming the surface of my feelings. The only way that I can do that is if I don't go into my feelings. If I feel my feelings, then I don't feel very good. So that's kind of what I'm like dealing with underneath, is if this person is unclear about what needs to be done, then I'm the dummy. Because I know clearly that I'm doing this. I'm avoiding how much it hurts to wait for somebody to make up their mind. I'm the dummy in that situation, which is okay. Sometimes you're a dummy. It's no big deal. It's not even like a nasty thing to say. It's just sort of like, you're being a dummy. It's okay. Stop being a dummy now. All right. What does Divine Masculine have going on underneath this painful truth? Death. We have this disgusting, rotten, dying, decaying, gross, poisonous, I don't like this part of myself. The urge to unalive myself. When I have that urge, what that urge is about is, it is about wanting to get rid of this part of the self. It's not, you don't really want it, because you want to be able to experience things, but you want to get rid of the part of you that feels like this. And that's what the Divine Masculine wants this knife to do. He wants that truth. Deep down, what he really wants is this truth to make him cut away that part of himself that feels bad, that feels like it was poisoned or damaged or destroyed. He wants that. He wants the truth to be able to do that so that he can be reborn. There's always that cycle of rebirth that he's craving. And speaking of cycles, Divine Feminine, the world, this is what Divine Feminine is bringing in. And this mess over here is what Divine Masculine is bringing in from the past. He's bringing in, strangely, this hidden energy of the Page of Pentacles. The hidden energy, double hidden by the moon here, which is all about secrets and mysteries. Then with the Six of Wands, everything coming out into the open. Divine Feminine is bringing in the end of the year, the end of 23. This is the end, and we have a new year starting. Something fresh, something new on the horizon, and finally being on top of the world. And, really, really feeling that coming through. Like there's nothing that can stop me energy. She's bringing that with her because she doesn't want to continue going around and around and around in cycles anymore. She wants to eat. Okay, we're done spinning the fork. We actually want to put it to our mouth. So she's done. She's done like a house. She's done. Done. This might be sweet. This might be cute. But what I'm bringing in with me to the new year is that I'm not bringing that in with me to the new year. That's not coming with me. That's not coming with me. Divine Masculine is bringing in this information, the secrets about what he was hiding that was blocking the success. What was blocking the success, what he was really hiding, is exactly what Divine Feminine already knows. We already saw this over here. He's just a little boy. Something happened to the divine masculine energy that stunted his growth. Now think about it, because I know right now you're thinking about your person and you're like, damn straight, his bitch ass is stunted. Okay. But you're not supposed to think about it that way entirely. What you're really supposed to think about is, yes, at some point in my life, when I was young, between the ages of 0 to 7, I got a message. I got a communication, I got an idea, I got a belief. And that belief, it was a limiting one. It probably came from a parent, a guardian, somebody I looked up to, respected, admired. And I was able to get a bunch of beliefs. Some of them were beautiful, wholesome, amazing, incredible, loving, yes, energy. Some of it, not so great. And sometimes I had bad, horrible experiences that I felt ashamed and had to hide. And when that happened to me, something happened that got me stuck in a loop, repeating over and over and over again that painful experience with the Ace of Swords, trying to understand why this experience happened. Why did this happen? And it caused me to have a continued repeat of those dynamics in relationships throughout my life. So what Divine Masculine is bringing from his past into the present energy is bringing this information to light, shining a light on what happened that caused this break in him, that stunted his development socially, like in terms of communication, relationships, whatever it is. Like there are things that happened to me that have prevented me from really being able to understand how to manage time and my finances and be consistent. And there are things that happened that in my mind caused I have a child mind, and it's stuck there, and I have to do extra work to fix it. It's literally, I have to do that. I might even sometimes we even need medical intervention to do that. And that's just how it is because of whatever event happened. So this information, this wound, it seems that masculine is carrying the information about that into the present moment. He has perspective. He understands it now. Okay. Because this he is willing to show us. This current energy where he's been hung out to dry by the divine feminine. Here's the divine feminine over here. Her energy with the King of Swords. Divine masculine is aware that once he looked at things from divine feminine's perspective, he had to see that things were pretty unfair, right? Things were not balanced. But the problem with that is that once he understood that information, then divine feminine loomed so large in his life that it became really, really, really difficult to try to just break this cycle. The only way to break it is to surrender to it, and it's very hard to surrender to that because it carries a lot of fear. This being vulnerable, having emotion, is a huge fear, huge fear. The masculine often just puts his ideas and plans and everything away rather than actually have those deep feelings and feel that vulnerability that the feminine energy brings. The feminine is exactly the same. I love you, but you're exactly the same. And this is, if anybody's a tarot reader, she'll be like, what did you mean? How could these two cards be the same? Those two cards are not the same. You're right. They're not the same. But what divine feminine has to do in her current energy is because she has these large feelings, right? We saw all this emotion, the King of Cups, all the Seven of Cups, all these ideas and fantasies and emotions she's poured in deeply, and she's required to skim the surface of them because if she let herself feel it and then felt the loss of it, it would crush her or destroy her. In order for her to protect herself from that energy, she has to be the divine masculine and cut herself off from her feelings. She has to be cutting, she has to be direct, she has to communicate, listen, if you're not going to do it, then I'm going to do it. And then that makes divine masculine afraid because now divine masculine is experiencing this emotion in this direct way without having the ability to match her. In Divine Feminine's lives, the people who identify in feminine energy have been encouraged to develop masculine traits in order to navigate. But because we live in a patriarchy, that same masculine energy that requires us to have masculine energy in order to have, okay, now we have to take on these roles as protectors and providers for ourselves. We're also having to do that emotionally. We're also having to do that in the domestic space. We basically have to have all the roles now. So we know how to do this. But Divine Masculine, because we've been in this imbalanced society, has never been encouraged to embody this role of the nurturer, has not been encouraged to feel feelings or emotions or creativity. And I'm not talking about gender here. I am really talking about energy that for because humans are pattern-based creatures, we have categorized and sorted into an assignment with certain body parts that's irrelevant. This is more normal for Divine Feminines because you have to be this if there's nobody who can be this. And if the actual masculines are crippled because they cannot have this energy, then there's nobody doing this except for the Divine Feminines. Divine Feminine is like, listen, I got a plan for my life. I got a strategy. If you're going to hang around here and, look up at me and think I'm swell, kudos, man. I got things to do, places to go, people to see. I got to be level-headed. I got to be the one that is clear because you're not being clear. You're not being direct. You're not being level-headed. So I guess it's got to be me then. And the outcome is just so funny. Okay, so Divine Feminine, we see coming out with the 9 of Pentacles. Single, fabulous, independent, amazing, feels great, feels incredible. Divine Masculine, we have coming out with the Ace of Wands, which is desiring this feminine energy. So what we get at the end of the day is that there is a desire here for Divine Feminine because she's detached. Because she's detached herself, now she's wanted. And that's just how it fucking works. And we have 2 aces here, which means I really see somebody feeling good about taking a chance on making an offer, on making some kind of a communication, which also means that if you break this down and you stop thinking about it in regards to another person right now and you think about it in regards to yourself, what that means is you feel really loving and patient and kind towards your inner child and its little temperamental energy. You see it. You're an adult, late stage diagnosed autistic person and you get it. You're like, wow, I really understand now why that little child struggled. And I look lovingly back upon it and playfully, and I understand how it shaped me and I'm cool with it and it's good. I've closed out cycles that of having a lot of chaos in my life and of constantly looping because I've actually learned these lessons. And I'm realizing that I can't numb myself forever to feeling like I need to choose a new direction to go in because, as much as I honor and appreciate this part of myself from my past, it is time for me now to move forward and to be able to navigate my feelings rather than just coast. So I need to make that move. I need to cut myself off a little bit from the way that it might feel to be uncomfortable when I actually start to embody my true self, which is that 9 of Pentacles energy. And I know that when I'm in my 9 of Pentacles energy, I will receive an Ace of Pentacles. Now, the masculine didn't come with an Ace of Pentacles over here, but we've got the communication and we've got the idea. So that's a start, right? So that's where what we've got on the feminine side. Now with the masculine side, if we identify that as ourselves, what it would look like is that's how we feel. Now what we've decided to do is we've recognized what it was that we kind of hid from ourselves that was holding us back from our success. We've surrendered to that. We needed to change how we were doing things We realize that we need to value how we feel so much more. We really need to give it a much larger role in our lives and let it guide us a lot more than it did in the past. A lot of times we just kept deferring to the head. We kept deferring to the brain and saying, no, our brain needs to be the one to decide, because our brain isn't a fickle feeling, okay? But it's the two working together. This is not a balanced energy. This is not giving enough attention to the mind and paying too much attention to the heart, and the opposite is true. So we're recognizing that. We're like, okay, we need to work together. And what that means is now I'm going to allow myself to desire things. I'm going to allow myself to imagine a different future and desire a different future and believe that I can give it to myself, because I do realize that I have what it takes. I have what it needs. I have what I need. And I can finally make this start. I can start fresh. I'm inspired. I've changed. That's what that means. So I hope that this helps you. I'm going to leave it here for today because I got to tell you, I'm pretty worn out, but I have a couple of things I want to share with you. And I hope that you will take advantage of a couple of the different things that are going on. The Follow Your Passions, where they lead you 30-day challenge. It's day 1 today. Post about it. Tag me in it. Let me know how it's going. I am considering building a 7-day free live stream course that has how to follow your passions consistently for a short period of time. It's going to guide you through your first 7 days of the challenge, teach you how to build consistency, enhance the time and energy that you're investing in yourself, and creating sweeping changes in your life. So I'm coming up with that. That's going to be available. Keep your eyes peeled for that. If you don't take advantage of the 30-day challenge this month, you can start next month. And you'll have that little guide available, and it's going to be free. I'm just getting everything together. But if you want to see the first page of the Follow Your Passions, where they lead your journal, you can become a member. It's only $1, and you'll have access to all of the content that I post for members on almost a daily basis. It's weekly. It's like a few times a week. I'm trying to be pretty consistent with it. I'm trying to give you a good blend of like free social media stuff and then some members only stuff. So become a member if you want the first page of that journal, because I have it there available for download. And there's lots of things I wanted to remember to say. Oh, I forgot. Oh, I'm glad you stayed this long. If you stayed this long, you're going to get that final thing, which was, how do you hope to live more authentically? Yes, I wanted to pull a card for how do you hope to live more authentically, or how do we hope to live more authentically this year in the collective? How do we hope to live more authentically? What would help us live more authentically? And I want you to ask yourself that question and answer, how do you hope to live more authentically this year? Maybe do a journaling about it. Wow. Grounding came out with risk. And what this is telling me is that you need to feel that you are grounded and stable enough that you can take risks and be fully supported. That's definitely something that will help you live more authentically this year. So making yourself feel that you are secure to take risks and be fully supported. That's full energy for me. Right out the gate. I love that. Yeah. All right. So that's all I have for you. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you probably tomorrow or Wednesday. And have a glorious 2024. Let me know if you're planning to do anything special this year. If you have intentions that you need accountability with or whatever, you can comment them below, and I will nudge you if I think of it. I'm pretty good about reminding other people what to do. All right. I will see you tomorrow.